that. It doesn't have to be so like.
All right.
Hi.
Hi, we are live.
Live.
On YouTube. And I will actually share this so people can see this live. But while I do this, maybe you can tell people what you've been doing this morning.
What I've been doing this morning, from like the moment I woke up. Well, I woke up at 4, got ready, came here, wrote my PT schedule or my programs on a whiteboard, prepared, and first girl showed up 10 to 7, which is wonderful. I always say if you're not 10 minutes early, you're 10 minutes late. I literally learned that at the age of 7. And it's like one of my principles. Anyways, but yeah, I've been doing PTs nonstop all morning, and it's been actually such a wonderful morning because it was such a vast array of people, all different skills, all different ages, and it's been nice to train people first thing in the morning. You know, they get to start the day in that way, and I get to be a part of it.
So speaking of morning and morning routines, because you woke up at 4, what is like your go-to routine at 4 a.m.?
That's okay. So I wake up. I Peloton. I get on my bike for 20 minutes. I do a 20-minute class. And then I, have a shower, put my clothes on, walk the dog, get the breakfast ready for my husband and daughter, and brush my teeth, do my new, so I just, I have this new thing, which is like a water flosser. It's like a game changer.
For your teeth?
Yeah, you stick it, it's like a pressure washer. Flosser. My mom was here and she brought one and convinced me to get one. So I ordered one, and it's the most incredible thing. Oral hygiene. It's very important to me. So that's part of my routine now. And then
I like those because I really struggle with the normal flossing stuff. It's so
good. Get one on Amazon. Do you have one?
No, I'll have to get one.
You have to get one. And it comes with all these different attachments. It's wonderful. And anyways, so then I look at the bus schedule and jump on the bus, and then I get here. And that's my routine. So yeah.
So you get all that done before you're here at this morning was 7, so it was kind of a.
So I got here this morning at 6:15. So it's pretty fast in the morning. I mean, the thing that takes me the longest is my my Peloton ride first thing in the morning. I don't do it every single morning, but this morning I had time, so I did it and I planned it that way.
But you don't wake anybody up by doing that?
No, it's in the living room now. It used to be in the bedroom. It was in the bedroom for I think 2 or 3 days, and then Fran was like, "Nope, it's going out." So, yeah.
All right. Yeah. Sounds good.
What was your morning?
My morning was waking up, and I usually I always have a wake up call at 6:28.
The child wake up call.
No, yeah, but I have the 6:28 as my safety call. But otherwise, I always wake up from either my wife or my kids. So, so from that point, it is usually you don't really know exactly what's going to happen because, again, if you have kids, especially when they're small, there can be a lot of things going on, and might have happened stuff during the night, so you don't even know where you are when you wake up. But I tend to have a coffee, and then depending on if I'm bringing the kids to the kindergarten and so on, I prepare breakfast for the family, and then we get our stuff together, brush our teeth, and all that stuff. And so, yeah, and then bring the kids over, and then get to work. That's usually the routine. And this morning, I was planning to train, so I woke up. I knew I'm not generally hungry in the morning, so I don't need to eat for breakfast. Just enjoying a coffee and then coming over here. Mm-hmm. I guess. So now I have my parents are here, so it's a bit more easy
flexible
with everything. But we wanted to start this kind of podcast again with an emphasis on I would say habits, and a lot about routines, habits, nutrition. They all kind of intervene and are connected, but I think the most neglected one is probably nutrition for most people. And we wanted to go through that. We've been kind of talking about how we do nutrition coaching, what are our learnings from working with people, what have we done through the time, what has been successful, what makes people successful with their diet, and so on.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any top of the mind things that come up for you?
Well, I think that when you say the word nutrition, the first thing that comes into your head is broccoli, big salad. It's just images, an apple, right? These quote unquote healthy foods, right? The chicken, so that's kind of the fundamentals of what nutrition is. But really, when we start working with people on their nutrition, on their on how they eat, on what they eat, it's such a small, the food is such a small portion of it. Mm. It's an element. Mm. Yes, it's the thing that's causing them to have the weight gain, right? But it's everything underneath it that's the issue. And I'm not saying it's the bad issue. It's the life. It's so holistic. Mm. You can't treat the problem without treating the symptoms, right?
When you say that, so usually, or for many people, if you really think about it, how much time people are actually spending eating in a day. We can take a normal case, I would say. And in my mind, I have somebody who might be overweight. Breakfast, barely nothing, just muesli or half an apple or something. Really keeping the breakfast very small, very calorie, let's say deficient, nutrition deficient, nutrient deficient. So starting off the day like that, and then that takes that person probably just 5 minutes to shovel that down. And then we have maybe lunch, and lunch might be all right, it's going to be pasta with something. And, it's in a restaurant, so practically the person just needs to eat. So the eating takes 10 minutes, 15 minutes, if it's a slow eater. No, but something like that. So we have eaten maybe for 20 minutes this day. And then the evening comes, and then it's like super hungry, just need to eat super much. And and it might be like a big bowl of salad again with some bread to it and whatever. And suddenly, like we spent, maybe that eating took a bit more, like 20 minutes. But in total, we spent 40 minutes this day eating. And not to underestimate is also like all the beverages over the day, right? So we had a coffee for breakfast, but then between breakfast and lunch, probably like maybe 1 or 2 cappuccinos in between. Maybe also like, I don't know, like for me, this is so distant, but I guess some people also have like a soda or something like that. And in the evening too, like to the food, soda. And I guess for many men, it might be 1 or 2 beers for dinner too. But total amount of time spent like eating, maybe 40 minutes, right? Drinking, maybe 20 minutes. So 1 hour of the day was spent to this, right?
Right.
And it has the most profound effect when it comes to like just your health.
Yeah.
And trying to out-train that with doing exercise, we see is not like really. I mean, you just need to spend a ridiculous amount of time exercising. If you want to counterweigh that.
Yeah.
And mostly you can't even do that. That's a bit different, like, side bend. But yeah, I think that is, when you put that into perspective, like we actually spend so little time on this thing, but it has the most effect on everything outside. Like,
right. Yes, absolutely. I completely agree that the care factor has been kind of set aside. But you think about all the things in your life that you care about, right? You care about your family, hopefully. You care about your kids, well, it's your family. You care about your work. You care about, your objects, right? Your nice headphones, your nice laptop. You invest in things, right? You invest in making your home beautiful, right? You invest in a gym membership. But it's like you can invest just as much time and care in yourself. And I mean, you do, you get your nails done. Well, I get my nails done. You get your hair done. You buy nice clothes, whatever, right? But often nutrition is, that level of care that you're talking about, that like taking the time is kind of pushed aside because other things take preference. But at the end of the day, your nails aren't going to look good. Your hair's not going to look good. You're not going to be able to function as well. So you're not going to be as productive at work if you do not fuel yourself properly. And that does not just mean eating good, nutritious food. It means taking the time to sit down, not stand and walk down the street with your sandwich or whatever. But sit down, take your time, chew your food, right? You tell your kids, chew your food, chew and swallow, that's what I'm always telling my daughter. But yeah, we need to focus on taking care of that. Because without that, well, you're going to be on the wrong side of the dirt, pretty fast. It's you're not going to live well.
But basically, what is a bit neglected is to just this enjoying that time. Is that what you're saying? Yeah,
and just enjoying that time and prioritizing. Not even, yes, hopefully enjoyment is a result of that, but prioritizing, making that as important as, you know, the other things that you have going on in that 24 hours, right? So sitting down, putting your utensils down, or putting the piece of food down so you're not shoveling it in your mouth. Because remember, you know, your brain, you know, they have to work in sync, your brain and your stomach and your digestive system, right? And if you're eating so fast, your brain can't catch up with, you know, with your stomach. So if you're shoveling it in and wolfing it down, you know, your brain kind of still thinks you're hungry. So you eat more until, guess what happens? You feel bloated. And that's one of the number one things I hear from people is I'm always bloated. Well, how long did it take you to eat that sandwich? 3.5 minutes. Well,
yeah, no, definitely. I can see, like, from my own perspective, it is like, if I try to reflect of what my own struggles might be and so on, and it's I mean, I've been experimenting, I would say, with my food over the time, quite a lot. Not like crazy stuff, but still, like, it has opened up my eyes into where I feel good and so on. And I have to say, like, there are some, like, factors that you need to weigh in, and like, I spoke to this with my wife, and it's about just what is kind of, because it comes down to routines and so on. So what is, how does it look like? What's my perfect day, so to say? When do I go up? What do I eat? What are the things that I would like to have in my life? And I think it's good to trying to be vocal about that, and to be reflective of, like, what do I really want to eat for breakfast? Am I just eating this because it's something I've always been doing?
right.
Like, what I always hear is, like, muesli for breakfast with an apple or banana or something like that. Which, like, it can be totally fine. It's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, it is so many just doing it. I'm just thinking, is this your own choice, or is it just, like, because this was something somebody put in front of your nose?
Yeah, something that somebody told you should do, and then you kind of, you built your life around that.
Yeah, and then, you know, there's not so much, like, effort into what happens, like, for lunch or for dinner. Or it might be, you know, you're eating your lunch boxes. You might meal prep and eat your lunch boxes and so on, but you're always eating, like, whatever you ate 10 years ago, right? Because and it might be, you know, back then it might be, like, to save money, or it might have been something else, like, to maintain lean. But it's like, is that really the things that you want to eat? And I think if you start to reflect a bit more, like, how can I do this? How can I eat the way I want to eat? For example, with my family, I'm always, like, trying to figure out, how am I going to try to how am I supposed to have a routine that works, in that sense that, like, if you have 3 small kids that you want to feed, right? There's not so much, like, sitting down, or like, you can sit down and eat, but it's so much going on all the time that
At this stage,
yes. So it's not going to be forever like that, but it's just like, I'm just reevaluating. Should I, like, we like to have, like, family dinner and so on. I never grew up having family dinner at home. We never ate family dinner because we were almost never home.
Okay.
Or it was, like, always something going on. But so the question is, like, okay, should I, as a parent, should I be eating during that family dinner, or am I just going to be stressed eating, right? Because that can also happen that, as I see it, like, maybe it's not the best option for me to try to have a dinner where I'm like trying to come down and enjoying the food when like 3 kids are throwing food everywhere and so on. I might just not be able to focus at all on my food.
Right.
Not to say I can't be there, but maybe I can still be there as a parent, like at the social part of it. But then, like, okay, when the kids are in bed, maybe that's when I need to eat, or before. So I have, like, I tell Julia, my wife, sometimes, because she's having like a nervous breakdown if she doesn't have food in a certain time. And
sounds like me.
And I'm like, you should just eat before the other ones, like, because her mood and everything just makes everything miserable to be around. So, like, eat when you need to eat, and then we can still be maybe social. Around the dinner table.
I mean, it's, for us that have kids, like, I mean, I only have one kid. You have like a small hockey team, right? and so that can be a challenge. I know for myself, between 5:30, ideally, like, if I had it really my way, I would eat dinner at 4:45, 5 o'clock, the latest. We have dinner at between 5:30 and 6, more leaning towards 5:30 because my mood depends on that. So I'm like Julia, but it's hard to say, and it's just just a season of time that you're in right now with your family and the age that your kids are. But it's like monkey see, monkey do, right? But for you as an individual, for you to eat in a healthy manner in terms of like sitting down, being able to like put your cutlery down and, relax and chew and swallow, and not feel stressed. Perhaps right now your eating time needs to be slightly altered.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm just thinking, for people, if you're having these kind of stresses, maybe you have to think outside the box in that sense, that in your case, maybe you should also, in that case, just eat before the others in one sense.
Yeah.
So you're not worked up and stressed because you need food.
Yeah.
I know your husband is Spaniard, so he needs to eat like at 10. Yeah.
No, he eats at 5:30. I mean, he's going to be complaining for the rest of our lives, and like we're going to be going to Spain in a couple of weeks. But I mean, I think he really enjoys. Not to say that the Spanish way of eating is incorrect; it's just different. But I think that he enjoys not going to bed with a full stomach. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you have to ask him.
I already know. He's much happier. And then when we go back to Spain, he's always criticizing his family. I'm like, don't look at me. I didn't. His mother's looking at me like, what did you do to my son? But getting back to just, I like what you said about like thinking outside of the box and having to, being able to like fulfill your needs so you can be the best version of yourself. Obviously, like you alluded to with Julia, I mean, when she's hungry, things go bad, right? When I'm hungry, things go bad. My mood is very, I'm short. I get agitated, right? My body is asking for it to be fed, right? So, and this goes back to, when we were talking about earlier, about, people that eat just like, an almond in the morning and then go about their day. Come lunchtime, they see anything, right? They see, just some, I mean, we live in Berlin, so it's like you walk by like a bakery and it's got all the sandwiches lined up. You're going to make a choice based on the stupid choice that you made in the morning. So, I mean, if you eat something that's going to nourish and satiate you, in the morning, most likely that choice that you make at lunchtime is going to work much more preferably in, you know, in the direction of like the goals that you want to achieve, whether that is, you know, fat loss, weight gain, whatever it is. But you really have to, I think for people, and of course, you know, everything I say, it's easier said than done, but it's, you know, starting with simple things. Start with just breakfast. This is something else that we talked about recently. It's not doing everything at once. You know, a lot of people start with a nutrition coach and they want to do this and they want to do this and they want to do this. And I'm like, no. All we're going to focus on is drinking a glass of water once a day, every day. If you're not drinking any water at all, right? Oh, but what about this? What about, you know, my macros? Shut up. You know, it's not about that. It's about creating small, sustainable changes that will work over the long term. So just starting with breakfast, starting with something that's going to make you choose smartly in the later hours is already going to be a huge game changer for what you want.
There's so many many topics that pop up into my mind. I'm thinking of like human beings are the only creatures that are, you know, struggling with what to drink. Well, all other animals are drinking water every day. They're just drinking water. There's no like, oh, what should I?
What flavor?
Can I drink this? Can I drink that? How much should I drink that? Should it be sweetened, unsweetened? And it's like the other animals, like mammals, they drink milk and water. That's it. So it's a pretty. I think that is an interesting topic, but we don't have to dig into it today. But I was thinking about these like choices we do over time, or like you said, like the choices we did in the morning might affect in the for lunch and dinner and so on. And what I came to think of is that why are we even talking about this? Like, why is it even important? And I think why it is so important is because like a massive majority of people are having health problems, and they are mostly based in their routine of food.
Yes.
And what they eat.
Right.
So, like I would argue, almost 90% of our population is metabolically sick. So this is why it's so important. Now, the awareness is not there. So many people that are, you know, obese think that they are not sick. They just think they're a bit flabby, but they're actually on the sickness continuum, if that makes sense. And it's not to shame them or so, but it's just the awareness. Like people are not even taught, you know, where they are. You know, the awareness is simply not there, and really of like, and it's almost stigmatized to even talk about it. Like, so I think we need to start to, first of all, being able to be transparent with like, where is sickness? Where does it start, and so on, and if we don't do that, then I think this line will just move, and then suddenly like the new normal will be, of course you're going to eat a couple of pills for this and that all the time because you have these and that problems.
Well, I mean, there's so much to unpack with that. You know, I mean, we could talk about food industry and all of that, and sugar and the food that's being, all of the processed food that is just being, you know, shoved down our throats and in our faces all of the time. But then it also, you know, can spiral into things, you know, this whole thing that I keep hearing about, you know, like fat shaming and, you know, and, you know, celebrating, you know, bigger bodies. I don't agree with that at all.
No, I don't agree. Like, again,
I think it exacerbates the problem.
Yeah, exactly. So in my sense, it's like celebrating somebody who's smoking, and
100%.
And I have no problems. Like if somebody's a smoker or he's I don't know, having other addiction problems, I can still see value in that person. Like, it's not like, okay, you're a smoker, you're a total piece of crap. And no, I can still see a lot of value in those persons, and I can deeply love those people too. But it's due to that, I also want them to stop smoking. And I also want to, they have to understand that smoking is bad, or being obese is bad for them. And it's in one sense, it's like selfish, because, you're just making my life also miserable with your shit, and everyone else's, and your own mostly. So, and for me, I'm just thinking, because I don't know, I guess when you get kids and so on, it becomes more important, because you start to think about like the future a lot more. Like, no, I want the future to be better. And if this continues, well, then we're just going to have even more obesity and problems with
just a population of sick people. And you're right, it does affect non-sick people, because we're taxpayers, right? Let's not get into that. We're not getting into that. But, it's like everything affects something else. And
what I want to come into is like why this is important. And for me, it's just important. Like, I want the future to be better. And why we first need to just acknowledge what the problem is, where is the line and everything, and start to help out to define and create awareness.
Right.
Because the awareness is simply quickly getting diluted out there. People are like, the delusion level in the society is very high.
Yeah.
And it's not only when it comes to nutrition, but also like in general terms of health and fitness. So I want to be, counterweight to that, even though it's like a massive counterweight that is required. But I think we can work towards that. And I think what people, I hope there's some things people can take away from this one today, but it's basically that, creating awareness is a first big game changer in where you're at. So it can be, if it's your nutrition, it's like just looking at how your days will look like.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how many people I talk to when they come in here, and I just ask them, what did you eat? And they're like, whoa, they don't even remember. It has not been there's no awareness around what has happened during that day when it comes to food. And this is, as I see, like one of the biggest levers when it comes to like getting really good health.
Right.
But yeah, and next week you will be here with Vanda. And do you already have a full topics set out for that?
Perhaps we do.
Perhaps. No. So and yeah, maybe I will join also some more of these. But yeah, I guess also for the viewers and the listeners, is like, if anything here comes up or you think something is different, like, hey, feel free to reach out. I'm happy to listen to. If you think we're totally wrong or totally right, I'm super happy to see what you have to say. It's not like I want it to be a dialogue more than a monologue. So yeah,
that's a good little phrase.
Yeah,
let it be a dialogue, not a monologue.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Anything else? No.
Not for now.
Okay.
Till
Then
next week.
until next week. Okay. Bye bye.
Bye bye.